Welcome back to Scary Stories, where we dive deep into the spine-chilling corners of reality. Today, we're exploring 3 horrifying school break-in events that will haunt your thoughts long after the video ends. These stories remind us that sometimes, the scariest tales are rooted in truth. So, turn off the lights, grab a blanket, and let's get started. 1. The abandoned school. First tale transports us to a small town where an old, abandoned school stands as a haunting reminder of days gone by. This building, once filled with laughter and learning, had been shuttered for over a decade. Locals whispered of strange happenings and ghostly sightings, claiming the spirits of students who never graduated roamed the empty halls. One fateful night, a group of 5 friends, Alex, Jenna, Mike, Sarah, and Tom, decided to explore this eerie place. They were seasoned thrill-seekers, often sharing urban legends and daring each other to face their fears. Armed with flashlights and their bravado, they crept through the broken gates and into the crumbling structure. As they entered the main hallway, they were greeted by the musty smell of mold and decay. Graffiti covered the walls, remnants of a time when students filled these halls with life. The floorboards creaked ominously under their weight, creating an unsettling rhythm that matched their racing hearts. The group shared nervous laughter, attempting to mask their fear, but deep down, they could feel an oppressive presence watching them. As they ventured further, they stumbled upon an old classroom, where dusty desks were arranged in chaotic disarray, and faded drawings from students long gone adorned the walls. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed from the hallway, freezing them in place. Their laughter vanished, replaced by a thick silence. What had caused that noise? Alex, the bravest of the group, suggested they investigate. The others hesitated, but eventually followed him, hearts pounding. As they stepped into the dark corridor, they peeked around the corner and saw a shadowy figure, barely visible in the dim light, moving toward them. It appeared to be hunched over, dragging something behind it. Panic set in as they exchanged fearful glances, and their instincts screamed at them to run. Without a second thought, they bolted down the hallway, the figure's footsteps echoing behind them. They could hear its labored breathing, a sound that seemed to grow closer with every passing second. They reached the entrance, hearts racing, but just as they burst outside, the figure let out a chilling laugh that echoed through the empty halls. They sprinted to their cars, barely able to catch their breath. As they drove away, they looked back to see the figure standing in the doorway, silhouetted against the moonlight, a haunting reminder of their brush with the unknown. To this day, none of them can explain what they saw that night, and the school remains a place of terror for anyone brave enough to approach. 2. The locked doors. Our second story takes us to a bustling high school during summer break. The halls, usually filled with the sounds of laughter and chatter, were eerily silent. The doors were locked tight, and the windows were covered, but that didn't stop a determined intruder from sneaking in. One local resident, Mary, who lived nearby, noticed strange noises emanating from the school late one night. As a retired teacher, she had spent countless hours in those halls, so the idea of someone being inside filled her with a mix of concern and curiosity. The school was supposed to be empty, yet something felt off. Intrigued yet apprehensive, she decided to investigate. Clutching her phone for safety, Mary approached the building, her heart pounding in her chest. As she neared the entrance, she saw a flickering light coming from the gymnasium. Against her better judgment, she pressed on, convinced it was just a prank. She tiptoed around the side of the school, peering through the grimy windows. What she saw inside sent shivers down her spine, a group of shadowy figures moving frantically about. It wasn't just kids playing. Something felt terribly wrong. They were throwing items around, and the sounds of laughter echoed menacingly. Suddenly, the laughter turned into screams, sharp and piercing, cutting through the stillness of the night. Mary felt a chill run down her spine. Was it just a prank? Or was something sinister happening inside? She backed away, her instincts telling her to run, but her curiosity kept her rooted in place. Moments later, the police arrived, their flashlights piercing the darkness. Mary stepped forward, explaining what she had seen. The officers entered the building cautiously, their radios crackling with tension. As they moved through the halls, they found the doors forced open. the sound of chaos still echoing from the gym. When they reached the gym, they were met with a shocking sight. The once pristine space was filled with broken glass, overturned chairs, and the remnants of a chaotic party. But what was even more disturbing was the message scrawled on the wall in bright red paint. "You shouldn't have come here." The officers conducted a thorough search but found no one inside. It was as if the intruders had vanished into thin air. The gym remained a scene of chaos, and the unnerving mystery of that night lingered in the minds of those who heard about it. The identity of the intruders and the meaning behind the message remain unknown, leaving the community in fear. Segment 3. The Late Night Visit. Finally, we arrive at a suburban middle school where an innocent late-night visit turned into a nightmare. One evening, Mr. Thompson, a dedicated teacher, decided to stay late to prepare for the upcoming school year. The building was quiet, save for the occasional hum of the fluorescent lights above. As he organized files in his classroom, he suddenly heard strange noises coming from the storage room next door. At first, he dismissed it as the wind, or perhaps a loose vent. But the sounds grew louder, scraping and thudding, as if something was trying to escape. Curiosity piqued, Mr. Thompson decided to investigate. As he opened the door to the storage room, darkness enveloped him. The lights flickered on, revealing an unsettling sight: a student standing in the corner, their back turned to him. They were muttering to themselves, eyes wide and vacant. Feeling uneasy, Mr. Thompson called out to the student, but they didn't respond. Instead, they continued to mumble incoherently, their hands fidgeting nervously. As he took a step closer, he noticed the windows were wide open, even though the doors were locked tight. Suddenly, the student turned to face him, their eyes filled with terror. "They know I'm here," they whispered, sending chills down Mr. Thompson's spine. Confused and alarmed, he quickly reached for his phone to call for help, his heart racing. But before he could dial, the lights flickered again, and in that brief moment of darkness, the student vanished. Mr. Thompson stumbled backward, his breath quickening. The storage room was now empty, but the echo of the student's words lingered in the air, heavy with dread. When the authorities arrived moments later, they found no trace of the student, only a chilling note left behind that read, "They won't let me leave." The police searched the entire school, but there was no sign of an intruder or a missing student. Days turned into weeks, and the school community grew restless. Parents worried about their children's safety, and Mr. Thompson, haunted by that encounter, found it hard to return to work. To this day, he can't shake the feeling that something dark and otherworldly invaded those halls that night. Thank you for joining us on this chilling journey through these horrifying school break-in events. Each story serves as a chilling reminder that sometimes, the places we consider safe can harbor terrifying secrets. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe for more spine-tingling tales, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a story. And remember, keep your doors locked because you never know what might be lurking in the shadows of your school.